All right, folks, welcome back to another video on the wide body E28. If you guys haven't watched the last video, I'll link it somewhere around here. We made the front air dam splitter, kind of like mocking it after the old CSL style ones. It came out absolutely sick. And a lot of you guys had questions, a lot of the stuff that I do, like how I get, certain stuff to work. So in this video, I really want to go into a lot of detail about like little tricks and like little tools that I use so I can make stuff like this with the limited tools that I have. And I know I say limited tools. I know I don't have what most people would call limited tools, but for a fabricator, for building a car this level, I have limited tools. My MIG welder, yes, it's a very nice MIG welder. This can do flux core, MIG weld stainless steel, MIG weld aluminum. I've never used any of the intricate settings on this welder. I only use it to tack stuff. I just got a really good deal on this welder and that's why I have it. To do something like this, you could get away with a Harbor Freight welder. Now my TIG welder, this is a thermal arc 185, smaller TIG welder. I only need 185 amps because I'm not welding really thick stuff with TIG. It's mainly exhaust and stuff like this strut bar. This machine was about $1,200. Probably one of my most expensive machines besides my TIG welder. Other than that, it's literally basic hand tools that you can get at Harbor Freight. Stuff like this, clamps, measuring devices. I know my table is horrifically dirty. And these, you can get these on Amazon, dirt cheap. First thing we are gonna tackle is filling this massive hole in. This is where the bumper support shock would go. This is the front bumper and this is the shock absorber. You can see the 3 bolt sets where it would mount up. We're gonna make it as easy on ourselves as possible to fill this in. So we're gonna box it out, cut it out into a square to make it as easy as humanly possible to do this with the tools that we have. I did have a question on my last video of what I use to cut metal. This is an incredibly thin cutoff wheel. Find it to be the thinner the better because it removes less material and it will cut faster. This is literally just a 10mm bolt, another 10mm locking nut on the back of this that's holding it together. Throw it in the end of my air tool. And if you don't have an air tool, a normal Dremel will work just fine, or a drill. Blue Scotch tape, throw it over here, cut it out with a razor blade, then throw it up on a piece of cardboard. We have this cut out, we're gonna transfer it onto some cardboard. Almost like any food comes in this like thin cardboard. You see how thin that is? I find this the best because it's not that double layered thick cardboard, and when it bends, it acts actually a lot like metal how it's gonna bend. On the edge, stay on that edge. Guys, we have this made. Been up on the bottom, been up on the top. There's like the side mold for you. Pretty much spot on. You guys are wondering, this is called CAD. A lot of people might think it's CAD software, but I know it as cardboard aided design. Flatten this out, cut it out on a piece of metal, rebend the piece of metal to match our bends. We have the thing drawn out on sheet metal. This is 16 gauge sheet metal. You can use metal shears on this thin of metal. Really easy to do, but for time, because I'm cutting out so much metal all the time, I have this Milwaukee metal shear snip. You guys see this in almost every single one of my videos. It has an oscillating tip right here that goes up and down, and it has that tooth and it pulls in the metal and it shears it in little bits at a time. I don't even think this is more than $200, and if it is, it can't be much more. I'm gonna slowly go ahead and try to bend this. I have these things. These are like little flat grabby things. Basically just holding this, trying to bend it up by hand and going very, very, very little at a time. I have my piece of metal here to get my straight line. This piece has to bend up and then it's gonna like bend back so we get the little bump in there. Got a big fat piece of metal up here just to keep everything straight. I got it clamped down to the table, bend it like that, and then we're gonna have to come down again. All right, this one's kind of gonna be difficult because I have to bend this up without taking this bend out. Yeah, I definitely messed that up. That is not fuck. Guys, this is just proof that I don't know everything and I'm learning along as I go. So, new method just dropped. Bending it like with a piece of metal, I can bend it with my hand. With this thing, and it makes for a much more precise, cleaner bend. I just cut halfway through the metal like this. See that? Like, I can literally just take it, come on, and bend it by hand, and it makes for a much cleaner bend. For stuff like this, it's real precise where I need it to go bend and bend. You cut a line in the direction where you're gonna be bending it, so you open up, like, you see how it's bending into itself there? The new method works absolutely phenomenally. There we go, beautiful. That will literally just sit in there just like that. This is looking super sick right now. I don't think I had any YouTube comments about this, but on Instagram, there were so many people commenting and they're like, oh my God, that car has to weigh like 500 pounds heavier, blah, 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 blah. It actually might be a little bit lighter. It's probably the same weight. It might be a little bit lighter than the old like original body because like this, we didn't really add metal. We just kind of pulled it out and added a little bit of metal there. Yes, we did add metal back there, but we took off those massive diving board bumpers. Those together probably weigh like 80 something pounds. We're taking all of the trim off, all of the rubber trim off and everything, but this bumper doesn't weigh that much. Like this metal isn't that heavy. It's super, come on, focus. It's super thin. So this total lip might be 15 pounds. It might be 15 pounds. All of these holes need to be filled. I'm talking this hole, this hole, this hole, this hole right here, and the ones all over here. For these holes right here, they're gonna be super easy. I'm just gonna cut a tiny little piece of metal out, hold it there with a magnet, tack it in, fill it in the weld. All for these ones, I am dreading the amount of welding and body work I'm gonna have to do to this front end. It's gonna take hours and hours and hours to do. But talking about it doesn't do anything. Fill these holes. I took a piece of cut off scrap. I literally just cut it off a little bit. I have these little tabs here that are gonna fit perfectly down in that hole. $3 magnet right here. Put it on to the end there. We're gonna set it down, drop it in that hole, hold it just like that, and weld it and then grind it down. You will never know that there was a hole there. All right guys, so we got most of the holes patched up. Came out pretty good. Like you can barely even tell that there was a patch over this one and over this one. I have a lot of welding to do. Literally all of this needs to be welded. Probably about 3-4 hours worth of welding I have ahead of myself. And then after we do the welding, then I need to get the grinder and grind down all the welds so it looks all the same. This is a lot of work. A lot of work. It's gonna be worth it because it's gonna look sick. Because this is such a big piece and the metal is so thin, if we like if I would just take my welder and go a lot of heat in this panel, and then this would probably warp just because it's so thin and you're putting so much heat into it. What I'm gonna do is when I go to weld, I'm gonna go like this tack to this tack, I'm gonna weld, and then I'm gonna like move over there. That tack to that tack, weld, and then just keep on doing it so I can spread the heat out slow and even throughout the front end. Because if I don't do that and I just weld without taking into account any of that, this whole entire front lip will warp and it'll look like ass, and all that work will be wasted.
The next day.
I welded for hours and hours and hours last night. I literally just woke up because I went to bed at 2 o'clock. So I'm a little bit tired. Anyways, this is what we got for the welds. You can see like the tacks where we originally tacked it together, but this is in between. That's really what you want it to look like. Nice stacked dimes. We have it all over. So, some 40 grit grinding disc from Home Depot that should lob this off pretty fast. We're gonna get this roughed out because I want to get all the welds off of it so it looks cool. We're gonna spend probably like 2 hours worth of grinding. We got a lot of the grinding done. As you can see, it's pretty good. It's not perfect. I could go back and like this little spot fill in, this spot fill in. I could fill in and grind it down perfectly to where it's perfectly smooth and all one uniform piece. That's honestly just a waste of time because we are gonna go over this, prime it all, and then put some light body filler in it just to fill everything so it will be completely smooth. I need to get a little like sanding bit to get down in there so I can grind that away so it's all good. Real quick, cardboard, I just made up a little like brake ducting thing where we can put like a hose on the back of this and then have it duct into the brakes. But I'm thinking we'll sit something like right in there and then it'll look really sick to see like the metal go in. We need to make 2 of these. I need to cut 4 of these pieces out and then 2 of these pieces out and then 2 of these pieces out. Power of YouTube editing magic. I'm gonna have all these cut out. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. We got all of the pieces cut out. We're gonna bend up the pieces, tack them together, grind them down, make them look all cool, and then we're gonna cut the gap in the front panel so we can put them in, tack them up, and then this thing is, oh man, is this thing looking sick. I got these tacked together. Absolutely sick inside. I need to mirror this on that side exactly, so I have to measure from there to there. We're gonna get that tacked up and then weld it in. Oh yeah, that looks so sick. That looks so sick. Alright guys, I don't even know what day it is in this video, but I just realized that my SD card was full, so I don't know what I filmed, and I'm sorry if I missed anything because my camera was recording, but I don't know if it was uploading to the actual SD card. But we have most of everything ground down here. This thing looks so unbelievably sick. This is just so unbelievably sick. The brake duct goes back there. Come on, zoom in. You can see into where the suspension is. We can attach a little hose in there, tie it up along this frame rail, and then right into our nice big brakes to keep those suckers cool. You guys can see the M logo on that. But I want to talk about my welder settings. So this is a Miller 211. It means 211 amps. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this welder does all kind of crazy stuff that I don't need. I just got a really, really good deal on it, so that's why I have it. So this is 18 gauge metal. I think I said 16 at the beginning of the video, but we're welding on 18 gauge metal. But I have it set to the high end of 16, almost to 14 gauge metal. And I have my wire speed turned down a little bit, like this 3 matches up with this 3, turned down to the 18 gauge metal. Reason is we are tacking a lot of stuff. If we do one continuous solid weld, it's going to put a lot of heat in the panel and warp the panel. So I have the heat cranked up, so when I do lay that tack, there's that instantaneous shock of heat. It puts the filler metal down in where I want the weld to go, creates for good penetration. I'm not gonna call it tacking anymore, we're basically spot welding. I got a little piece of metal that I'm gonna put behind there, so I have a backing, fill that in with weld, grind it down. Most of all this stuff ground down here. Got it all fixed up. That is looking great. Going down and getting the hard to reach spots. Down in here, I'm gonna grind that down so it's all nice and smooth. It's like matches this. See how that's all like uniformed one piece. I had to make a little bit, so I took my used ones, and the used ones are all worn around the edges, but they're still good in the center. So what I did is I literally just cut this out so I can actually get down there now and then grind that away so it looks all like it's one piece. This is where we are ending today's video. I'm wearing my blue light glasses, if anybody wonders what these are. This is where we're ending today's video because I want to get a video out to you guys. Need to finish welding and grinding out all these, but you guys can see I filled in all of this and that looks so fucking sick. I love the little indent in there. I was gonna completely shave this, but I like that little recession. Really like that. I think that's gonna look so sick, especially being lined up with the grills. I mean, guys, do you see this? This came out so unbelievably good. Oh my God. It literally looks like it's formed out of one piece of metal. Like, look at that, guys. Oh my God, absolutely beautiful. Brake ducts came out super, super sick. Absolutely love this car. It is, oh my God, right there. Right there. It looks so good. I think I'm gonna try to be posting 2 videos a week. I'm kind of rearranging my sleep schedule because normally wake up at like 11 p.m. I come down and I work until about 6 or 7, then I go to the gym, and I'm only really giving myself about 6 to 7 hours of time to work, and then I normally edit after the gym. But what I started to do now is I started to wake up early, go to the gym, and I have the entire day to work. So hopefully it's gonna increase my productivity, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to cram out 2 videos for you guys because you guys are absolutely loving it. And I can't thank you enough. That being said, if you are here to the end of the video, just drop down wide body E28. You know, I'll like and reply to your comment. That being said, guys, this thing's turning out sick. I can't wait to get this car completely primed and painted. And as I always say, dream so big it's scary. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.